everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Monday morning. It's shortly after 7 o'clock, which is now after sunrise, at least for the next few days. We'll have that time change this weekend. A dense fog advisory remains in effect till 9 o'clock as of the time of this recording in these gray counties here. There have been many counties that have been canceled early before the expiration of 9 o'clock because the fog has lifted or not been as big of a concern in many locations. There is still some fog out there this morning in spots. Let's look at our future cast, and it's kind of tough to show the fog here. It is pretty foggy from Grand Island to Hastings to York. That's been kind of the worst of it this morning. There's also a lot of cloud cover near and north of Interstate 80. Cloudy skies here, sunny skies or clear skies across the south. Other than where the fog is anyway. Well, let's take you through the days ahead here. We'll start off with today. Kind of a very distinct line between the clouds to the north and the sun to the south. So we will see a big difference in temperatures for today. Now, everybody's going to be chillier today because we had a cold front come through last night, and we have some north and northeasterly winds, which are going to be on the breezy side today at 10 to 20 or 15 to 20 miles per hour for many of us. Some a little stronger, some a little lighter than that. Overnight tonight, the winds, they'll lighten up a little bit. We'll see increasing cloud cover, so by tomorrow morning, most everybody is now under cloud cover with a little potential light snow up here to the north and northwest. Not a lot of moisture expected tomorrow with a little bit of a light breeze out of the east for most of us. Late in the day and more so into tomorrow night, a little more moisture lifts in from the south here. Now, with the way the temperatures will be tomorrow, most of us should be warm enough to just see liquid, but maybe more of a mix later tomorrow night. Notice, though, not a lot of moisture, maybe a little bit over eastern areas. So I don't see too many big impacts to travel Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It looks like more of the same during the day on Wednesday. Minimal impacts to travel because of very light rain or mix, maybe some snow up north. Most of us won't see much. The better chances are going to come at the end of the week, and I'm going to show you that here in just a bit on a couple of forecast models. But let's show you the temperatures for the next couple of days first. Today, chilly up north in the 30s, better in the south with 40s to near 50 degrees, more sunshine in the south, more clouds in the north. Tonight, we'll dip back into the 20s for overnight lows, and then tomorrow, most of us just a little bit cooler. Your chilliest temperatures out west in the lower 30s, northwest as well, upper 30s to near 40 in the Tri-Cities, low and mid 40s to the east. But as that moisture moves in late in the day, probably most of us should be liquid if we see anything at all. Drizzle, light rain. Tomorrow night, most of us staying above freezing where most of the moisture falls in eastern areas, near and above freezing. So like I said, I'm not too concerned about too many slick conditions out there, but again, very minor impacts would be a possibility. Highs on Wednesday, as most of the moisture is still very limited on Wednesday, 30s and lower 40s above freezing. So again, I don't see too many impacts to travel on Wednesday. Beyond that, the good news is it doesn't get a whole lot colder beyond that. This is the big trend, the two of the big trends we've noticed in the forecast models over the weekend, the last 2 or 3 days now, is everything cold air wise has shifted a little farther north, which is great news if you're not a big fan of wintry weather. Even on Thursday, we're still looking at above freezing highs. The lows close to freezing, that's when things get a little dicier, at least in the Tri-Cities area. So again, very minimal moisture in here during the Tuesday night to Wednesday early evening time frame. But later Wednesday night into Thursday, that's when most of the moisture will fall. The good news is most of this will be rain for the Tri-Cities, but a little snow might mix in when it's a little colder at night. It wraps up Thursday evening, should be done by about midnight or so. Friday looks dry, a couple of degrees warmer. Saturday, a few degrees warmer yet. Another quick moving system brings some light moisture to the area, but most of this should be rain. Maybe a little snow early, with it being a little colder earlier in the day. Back to dry weather on Sunday with partly cloudy skies, maybe a couple of degrees cooler. We're not looking overly cold next week. We'll stay mostly in the 40s. Not super warm for this time of the year. We're still slightly below average most days, but at least not super cold out there for next week. All right, now we're going to show you the forecast models when we get into the second half of this week here and show you kind of an idea of what we're looking at. As the European and the GFS are a little more agreeable now. Still not completely in agreement, but at least a little more agreeable. So again, not much the next couple of days. Let's jump ahead to Tuesday night. There's that very minimal moisture Tuesday night and a Wednesday. I'll take you through the day on Wednesday. So a little bit of what should be mostly liquid on Wednesday. So hoping that we will avoid any slick conditions out there if you have travel. Boys State basketball begins on Wednesday. Wednesday night, this is when the moisture starts to get heavier, especially late in the night and into your Thursday. And again, Another day of Boys State basketball in Lincoln. But if you're traveling in the southern half of the area, including I-80, most of this could be liquid. Up north, more snow. I will admit, though, the snow is not as heavy with the European forecast model until you get up into the Dakotas. There's Thursday night when the snow continues. Rain south, snow north, a little bit of a mix in there. And then this moves off to the east. So Friday looks dry. And then here's Saturday, that quick moving system bringing some light rain, maybe some snow to the area. It's not much, though. So it's not very concerning right now. And then beyond that, Sunday looks okay. And really the first half of next week looks okay. Things may turn a little more interesting later next week. That's a long ways away. Not going to get too worried about that yet. All right, now to the GFS model. Again, quiet the next day or two. Tuesday night, there's that limited moisture. Some snow up north maybe. Wednesday during the day, still not a whole lot. Maybe some snow up north. But things get more active Wednesday night. Here's Wednesday night into Thursday. Notice rain in the south, snow in the north, the mix right between. Tri-Cities right on that edge between the rain and the snow. Could be a heavier snow event up north. It looks like the worst of it's going to be the Dakotas, though. Here's Thursday night now as everything lifts out of here. Quiet Friday, and then Saturday. Again, a little minor moisture here. That will then clear out. Quieter weather Sunday into early next week. So a real quick thing, I wouldn't focus too much on the numbers with this here, but just know more impacts north, fewer impacts south later this week here. The heaviest snow is looking to be near in the north of the South Dakota border. I'm all out of time, so I have to let you all go, but I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all again on Tuesday morning with all the latest. Until then, take care. God bless. Bye.